Peace, everyone. It's Black High Priestess. Happy Saturday. It is the Sabbath. I don't know what this is here. I just wanted to talk about dating a little bit. As you all know, I'm single, and my brand is, the foundation of it is elevating Black women and, using my expertise not only in witchcraft and African spirituality, but my expertise in, racism and social interactions and communication to promote Black women by promoting myself, who can make Black women look good as a model, but to also kind of train Black women on how to achieve the level of femininity that I was groomed with coming from the projects. So it's not that all Black women, need what I'm offering or want it, but I think it's imperative for women who do come from poverty, who do come from oppression. There's a lot of Black people in Chicago that are privileged, that have never really struggled other than maybe experiencing some racism. But when you're from the projects, when your parents are poor and ignorant and uneducated themselves and don't really know how to navigate having children, it's a lot harder to fit into high class society. And I've overcome that. I've overcome that need to be accepted by white people, because I was accepted by white society at a very young age. And a lot of Black people are not, because you don't speak proper English, you don't have the education or the class for other races to accept you and respect you. And that's what my brand is really about, getting Black people to achieve those things that I achieved at a young age, which is being accepted and respected by other races while being unapologetically Black. And, I think on a spiritual level, Black people need to accept Christ as their Lord and Savior, and accept the Vodun ritual of that blood sacrifice that Christ made on everyone's behalf, and understand the biblical history that relates Black people to the Hebrew Israelites and Caucasians to the Gentiles. To understand that white people, or the recessive genetic, they are a punishment to us as Black people, but they are not our gods. They are not superior to us innately, that we should look to them for acceptance. We need to look to God the Most High for acceptance through Christ and being Christ-like. And I want to be clear about that. Now, this particular upload is a response to a good Facebook friend of mine. So shout out to Darwin Mosley for being the inspiration for me to talk about this subject. Darwin, you made a comment on one of my photos where I was shown with a man who I was on a date with, but also, someone who's a friend that we hang out with. We're both Black sommeliers, and we both go to events. We have a lot in common. And, we had an intimate photo, and Darwin made a comment saying, he's a lucky guy. My response to the comment Darwin made on that photo was, he's not lucky. Very few Black men, I would say, are lucky. He actually made the effort to be in my life, to get to know me, and to be in my physical presence. That has nothing to do with luck. That has to do with a Black man seeing my value and making a consistent effort to be next to me, to be close to me, to be in my good graces, to know me better as a person, not just like my photos. And so one thing I want to share with Black women that I have had to learn the hard way is how to make Black men respect you and value you. And as a model, I gratuitously give photos. I have no problem giving nude photos. But I've also learned that my image, God gave me this beauty, and I share it because it gives me pleasure to heal other people with black beauty, with feminine beauty, and with pleasure. I get pleasure from looking at myself. I get aroused in from looking at my own image in ways that can literally distract me from my whole day because I'm mesmerized by my own image in the mirror. I like to share that. But I've learned that black men have been liking my photos for years and have never asked me on a date. Have liked my photos, never slid in my inbox to say, hey, can I donate to your brand? You look really beautiful. Can I offer you dinner? Can I cash app you and get you a nice lunch because your photos are so beautiful? I understand that most black men have a woman somewhere. And most black men cannot actually be with me because you already have a baby mama, a girlfriend, or a wife, or a woman who you're actively sleeping with that is okay with you not committing to her. And you don't really actually have space for a woman like me who takes up a lot of space. I take up a lot of space. I'm the most powerful, most beautiful woman on this planet. So most black men, they cannot afford intellectually, spiritually, financially, emotionally to know or date a woman like me. That's why I don't have problem being on social media to elevate all of us for the world. But sisters, do not let black men like your photos for years, make nice comments on your pictures or your social media for years, and never ask you on a date. Another experience my point is that a social media friend has the same access that anyone else has to me. You have more access to me. But you black men, you all are inferior to other races. And I hope that instead of getting offended, you guys actually listen and understand how to be a better man. And it's most likely going to be for the mediocre black woman that you're dating who puts up with your slave-minded energy. Because a lot of black men just don't deal with black women anymore because they don't want to deal with the slave energy of dealing with another black person. They don't want to deal with the oppression and all that. They want to create this fantasy where they are white privileged and they just date a white person and marry white, and their whole life becomes being this black person in a white society, until they realize that it's not fulfilling to them. Then they try to bring their interracial relationship to the black revolutionary communities, and then the divorces start. My another experience that I had is I contacted a black professional for media work a couple years ago, and I contacted that person because they had given me positive feedback on my music and my images as a professional in that industry. And I asked them, for a service. I had known this man, this professional black man, for over a decade, and we had always had positive interactions online. We were both definitely attracted to each other. Never once had he came into my inbox and asked me on a date, or did anything to show that he was interested in getting to know me, not just liking my photos or my social media. When I reached out to him for professional work, after we got work done, that's when he decided to date me. He had a baby by some bitch he didn't want to marry, like 120% of black men do in Chicago. Which was not the reason he couldn't commit. He had no interest in being married. His interest was in having sex with whoever he wanted, whenever he wanted, probably until his dick stops working. I put up with it because at that time, he was the best option I had. The other men who I was dating were abusive. The other men who I was sleeping with, they were just that. They were not men that I was actively dating or anything. They were just men for sex. So I chose to date him and spend time with him because he was more beneficial than the other men. But it was a mistake because we weren't looking for the same things. I'm serious about myself, my body, and my relationships. He's not. Women are a game to him. So my point is, ladies, black men online are really usually not eligible to date you. Just because they like your photos, just because they like your statuses that may show your intellect, just because you have a good friendship with them based on business, based on Black Revolution, based on a mutual lifestyle. These men don't have any value or real respect for you. If they know you're single and all they're doing is liking your pics, liking your things, but they have never made an effort to support your brand that you promote regularly, or to actually date you and make you happier and be your husband or be a boyfriend. And for someone online to, and I don't want to bash anyone, and I don't want to make any of my social media friends feel like I don't value your friendship and I don't value your interactions. But I want black men to know that you all are inferior. And the reason you all get nothing out of life is because you are inferior to other races who actually deserve beautiful black women. White men deserve to date beautiful black women like me. I've never had to ask a white man for money. He's always offered it. White men, and this is what you all may simply not understand about why white men are superior in this context. In America, it's not just because of the slave trade that was a wrinkle in time that affected a few tribes in Africa. The culture of other races makes the men far superior than black men. Asian culture, European culture, these cultures, the men are far superior in the way that they treat women, in the way they value women, the way they value marriage, the way they value class, which is not about money, but in those cultures, it's related to having wealth, class, a lot of times. But class is really not about money. It's about morality. That's what class is. It's about how you treat other people. And how you treat other people is symbolic of your education level. That's why it's called class, not wealth. It's called class because your wisdom and your education about the world will be demonstrated in how you interact with humans, nature, things weaker than you, meaning how a man treats the weaker vessel that is the female. Black men hate black women. Black men see black women as perpetual mothers. Black men see black women as a come up, as something that as an asset to him. Black men are far inferior to white men, Asian men, when it comes to them being eligible husbands, them knowing how to take care of a woman and a family, them knowing how to be a leader. The black man is inferior. And so the reason you black men do not get beautiful, fine, sexy, intelligent, natural, self-respecting, self-loving sisters like me is because you put no effort into it. You sit around, you oogle, you Google, you look, you like, but when it comes to showing what you as a black man have to offer, the reason that you don't pursue women like me is because you are inferior and you have nothing to offer. And the ones that do, you all are so insecure and slave minded that you are waiting for validation from a white woman, or that you actually don't see yourself as worthy of a beautiful woman. And this is what I want a lot of you black women to understand, because a lot of you black women, you look like black women. You are average. Your beauty is based on your blackness. My beauty is supernatural. My beauty has nothing to do with me being black. I'm not beautiful because I'm dark skinned. And I'm not beautiful because I have kinky hair. I'm beautiful because the shape of my eyes, the shape of my nose, the shape of my lips, and the shape of my body. That can come in any color. A lot of you black women, you're beautiful because you have African features. You're beautiful because you have a big ass. You're beautiful because you love yourself enough to wear your natural hair and it makes your aura beautiful, but you're not sexy. Your face isn't beautiful. You're not models. You don't poise yourself. You're actually beautiful based on your African traits that may attract a man who's actually looking for an African woman. But to have a universal, a glorified look like mine, that people are confused about what my race is, even though I'm obviously African, and people still ask. A lot of you black women, you all look mixed, but no one asked you what your race is, because your features to them demonstrate you're just a light-skinned black woman, or you're just a brown skin or loose-haired black woman. But for me to be obvious, to have obvious African features and people still be confused about my race, that's coming from a spiritual activation of my beauty. Very few of you women have the gift to enchant a man to understand the wisdom I'm trying to teach you. And it's not about just being beautiful. It's about understanding how inferior the black man is. And you may not understand it because you're average. And you cannot see him that way because, you get flattered by him, but the black man is inferior. The black man is not worthy of beautiful women. White men are. A white man is not intimidated to ask a beautiful woman out. A white man knows his worth. A white man has a lot to offer. So when he sees a beautiful woman of any race, if he's not holding internal racism and insecurity about his whiteness, he has no problem asking a woman of any race who he sees as top-notch gorgeous. White men have the highest standards of beauty because the white man is high and superior. Black men have no standards for beauty. Black men have no standard. Black man will tell anyone she's beautiful, and black man will date any woman of any size, of any health level, of any look. The black man has no standard for beauty. So when a black man encounters a beautiful black woman, not just a black woman, and I'm black and I'm proud, or I'm black and I brace my ass. No, I'm the most beautiful woman in the world. I just happen to be black. Black men are not ready for that. The black race is not ready and prepared for that. Only white men, Asian men are. So, sisters, when you're dealing with black men, understand he a lot of times he does not have what it takes to pursue you. He's inferior, he's a slave. He wants you to do all of the work. He wants you to reach out to him. He wants you to tell him how fine he is. He wants you to ask him out on a date. He wants you to let him know, hey, I'm single, I'm available, I don't have anyone. Hey, he wants you to be desperate enough to do the work that he should be doing in pursuing you, to be worthy of being next to you, breathing your air, taking a sexy photo with you, or being your husband or boyfriend sexually. And I want sisters to really understand, most black men are going to waste your time. When you understand superior men, and you can post a picture and have white men in your inbox offering you money because you're beautiful, not wanting sex, not, when black men sit around and boo-hoo themselves and, oh, he's so lucky, when they've had the same access to you, but a white man is offering to take you on vacation, all expenses paid, and he's just a friend, but he's a Facebook friend, and he's known you and he values you, so he wants to get to know you better by all expenses paid vacation. I'm not making shit up like people do. I'm telling you what happens to me. I'm telling you all the difference between black men and white men. When you go out with a white man, he will be able to have a conversation about anything other than hair or being oppressed or stuff like that. He will be able to actually intellectually stimulate you, and it won't have to lead into, a conversation about, how inferior he feels in the world all the time. There's such a different vibration when you deal with white men, with superior men. And it's not that I am promoting interracial dating. I'm trying to explain to you black men why you all will never get the high class, highly valuable things that white men get. You cannot be a slave and a master. You cannot feel sorry for yourself and still want the finer things in life. Anytime a black man is next to me, it's because he made that effort to be. Anytime a black man has had sex with me, or, what I'm trying to say is all of the exes of mine, black and white, all my exes, I still have some level of respect for, and they all made the effort to get next to me. They all made the effort to arouse me, to be my boyfriend, to have sex. They all made a conscious effort. A lot of you men, you don't understand your soy boy diet attitude, your vegan bullshit. All this stuff is making you feminine, where you literally, you don't have any masculine qualities. And you act like bitches. You act like babies. You are inferior. You have no manhood. So, like, black women, I want you to understand there's a huge difference between black men and white men. And I think some of you sisters may need to actually have to start interacting with white men. If you're not attracted to men of other races, that's fine. But when you have white male friends, Asian male friends, even, you will start to understand, you will start to hold black men to a higher standard, and you will give yourself permission to not deal with black people at all if they simply are not superior individuals. And I didn't want to make this dating upload about race, but I have to let you all know, white men make our lives so much easier. And white men really genuinely make us feel beautiful, not because they're white and they're telling us we're beautiful, but because of the power and the effort and the impact that it has. When a white man treats you the same way that white women get treated. Because black men will treat you like trash and actually go hold a door for a white woman because his slave mind programming. And I don't deal with that slave level. Most brothers I know, you brothers are revolutionary. You brothers support my brand. You brothers stand up for black women. But when it comes to dating us, you guys are fucking cowards. Black men are cowards. It's easy to say things online, but when it comes to getting out in the world, choosing one black woman to love and committing to that, a black man is going to run as far away from loving a black woman as powerful as me as possible. Black men do not want any responsibility. That's the definition of a slave. A black man hates responsibility. All right? So I'm a huge responsibility because I'm beautiful. A black man has to be able to fight to be my husband because he's going to have to defend my honor. And a lot of men and women, more women than men, are going to attack my honor. And that's why a black man does not want to date me or marry me, because his mother is not going to like me because my femininity is probably way higher than hers. So that might make her uncomfortable, and he knows that. So he'll try and have sex with me, but he doesn't want to bring me around his mother or his sister or his baby mama or these lesser women who are not spiritually activated. These are real experiences. A black man may want to sleep with me or see if he can, just like the other month. A brother I know, and these are brothers that a lot of you all know. I ain't but so many pro-black, upstanding, revolutionary brothers with talents, but a brother I know, we live in the same area. We were having tea. We were having conversations. But nowhere in that conversation did he make me feel like he was dating someone or in a relationship. But several times in that conversation, I knew that if I wanted to have sex with him, it would have been a possibility. I saw that brother at the African Fest with another female. What is my point? My point is, all black men have some woman that he keeps around that'll put up with his bullshit. But a black man will sleep with you when you're far superior to the other woman, but it doesn't mean he's going to commit. He will still date and marry and keep that woman who puts up with his inferiority. But black men will sleep with you. But a black man is not going to look to date and commit me and bring me out in public. Because dating Black High Priestess comes with a huge responsibility. He wants me to be a notch on his belt, but he doesn't want to tell the world, this is my woman. Because he's not a king. He's not a warrior. And the man I'm talking about is a well-known martial artist in Chicago. But he's not a warrior enough to date Black High Priestess. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to insult none of you brothers. There's a lot of you brothers out here who are upstanding, eligible, marriage material. But you're short, you're unattractive, and you're nowhere near as intelligent as me. And that's why it didn't work out. I had to reject you because you are not my equal. Does not mean you're not a good man. You are the opposite of these brothers I'm talking about. But to understand, sisters, most black men who are eligible husbands, they're short and they're unattractive. And they're not funny, they're not smart. But yeah, they would make great husbands to some woman. And it's probably going to be one of these Mexican women who, you know what I'm saying, will put up with a short, unattractive, not funny black man who will be a great husband. But at the end of the day, black men are too inferior to be with a powerful woman. And so, sisters, if you also are blood-born witch, you also are drop dead gorgeous. You're also the most beautiful woman in the world. You're also the most powerful woman in the world. You know what I'm saying? You are an enchantress. Posting pictures, posting your nudity, sharing your beauty with the world has nothing to do with knowing your worth. Don't let these Christianized black men, whether they're relationship counseling moguls or whoever, don't let them get up here and tell you, we want a woman who has respect for herself and who knows her worth, this, that. Let me tell you something. Respect for yourself is respect for yourself. Don't let a man define what you having respect for yourself looks like. Because a woman dressed in a bikini has as much respect for herself as a woman dressed in a burqa from head to toe in 90-degree weather. There's no difference. The way a woman dresses has nothing to do with how much respect she has for herself. Because that woman dressed from head to toe may be going to a man who beats her and cheats on her. And that woman dressed in a bikini or doing no nude photos or stripping in the club or who has a OnlyFans, she may have much higher standards for who she dates and who she marries, and that may be why she's single. And these women dress from head to toe who cover up and all these things, these women may be going home to these Christianized men who marry a woman who dresses a certain way but cheats on her all the time with the woman who respects herself by wearing a bikini. Okay? Never let a man define for you what your self-respect is. Once a man tells you what type of woman he wants, you decide if you fit into it or not. But stop letting these Christian men try and give you some universal standard of what a good woman is. Because all he's doing is telling you what his mama is like and trying to make you feel you got to be like his mama. Because most black men are mama's boys. Most black men are dictated by their mother. It's a slave syndrome. When you get to white men and Asian men, they respect their mother, but their mother does not make the decisions for them in their manhood and who they sleep with. But, in American culture and in American society, a mother can come in and treat her son like a husband because of this pedophilia shit we got going on. A woman can behave like her son's boyfriend or wife. And that's another reason you mostly black men, you'll never deserve a beautiful, eligible woman, because you can't cut ties with your unruly mother. Sisters, don't let a man define beauty or self-respect or wife material. Let him tell you what he wants and decide if you fit into it or not, because here's what I'm trying to say. In the Bible, Obadiah was a prophet who was ordered to marry a prostitute. So when you start really reading the Bible and don't let ignorant black men and all these preachers tell you teach you about femininity, but when you actually read the Bible and learn what the Most High said, God ordained a prophet to marry a whore. So black women, when a man respects, black women, listen. Black men don't genuinely have respect for black women. Let a man of any race show you that he respects women by respecting all women, whether she's young or old, whether she's a whore or a wife, whether she's from poverty and struggles, or whether she's privileged because she comes from wealth. A man who respects God will respect all types of women, not just one type of woman. A black man who respects himself and his God will elevate black women out of oppression, not elevate black women because he thinks he's better than white men or better than others, but he will understand that the women of his race suffer more than women of other races, and it is his duty to elevate her out of oppression, not to look down on other people. So when a black man is pro-black, it's that he understands you as a black woman are suffering simply because you're black, and it is my duty to elevate you to the same status that other women on this planet are elevated to. That's the black man's responsibility. But understand, sisters, a black man needs to have respect for women because he worships his God. Not because his mama taught him, because a lot of these black mothers ain't teaching black men jack shit except how to be a mama's boy. All right? And how to only be around women like her. A black man has to respect himself and respect women because he fears God. And the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. And when a black man has wisdom, that's going to give him the eligibility to be around powerful black women. And a black woman, you're not powerful unless you're beautiful. So you can be so ugly that you're beautiful, but you have to be beautiful somehow as a female. And a lot of you women, you have been given permission to be unattractive and still be given credit for sacred femininity. That shit is dead. Don't come around me or my temple or my teachings with that shit. Your spiritual activation is reflected in your beauty. And I'm not going to hear I'm not going to give women permission to be unattractive and still feel that you have sacred femininity. You may have sacred masculinity if you are unable to attract and arouse a man in your attitude or your behavior, but you have to be attractive. And you will know if you're attractive by how people interact with you. So if you are okay going out, if you go out in the world and no one compliments you, if you have not gotten a compliment, if you don't get complimented every day, you go out of the house, or if you don't have people staring at you with pleasure because you're so well put together or you're so beautiful, you are not beautiful. That's it, and that's all. If you don't go out the house and get complimented on something, you're not beautiful. If you don't go out in public and strangers compliment you, you are not beautiful. Being worthy, being superior, these things are real. And they should not be handed out. I don't cast pearls before swine. I don't give people credit for stuff that they have not achieved. And that's the whole point in this upload. Sisters, don't let black men do nothing and get credit. And I'm at a point where it's like, some of you dudes that have been liking my photos for years and stuff, but have never really done anything for me, I don't need to know y'all. I don't need to know you online. I don't need to know you at all. Because it is a struggle to be a black woman and a business owner with no help, without a husband. And you guys are actually taking away from my time and energy by giving empty responses, but not actually helping me in real life. So you inferior black men who are too inferior to actually ask me on a date, to actually get to know me, or to have anything to offer for my beauty, this is the time and place where I start to cut off people who are not actively contributing to my life. If I don't get aroused when I look at your photos, so what do I need to know you for? You're not helping with my brand. You don't take me out to lunch. You don't help me raise my cats and take care of them. You're not helping me achieve any goal that I have, which is marriage. So I'm really at a point where I'm cutting out, liking my photos. It does not give me that self-esteem that having a husband will. I think sometimes you just outgrow social media interactions, and it help. If I can get a client from someone liking my photos, great. If someone purchases my soap, purchases an Oracle consultation, and I can actually help someone through my brand, great. But if liking my photos does not help me pay my bills or help me get a date with an eligible black man, it's becoming a distraction. And and it's at a point where maybe you all don't deserve permission to be friends with me on social media and see the beauty that I share with people who should be my equals, who should be out in the world having as much to offer as I do. And I'm really just getting to that point where I cannot, I want to promote black love. I want to promote a lot of things, but my experiences with black men make me realize that telling the truth is more important to my audience, to my followers. Being honest with you all is more important than trying to be pro-black. I am pro-black. But the reality of it is black men make black love nearly impossible for me. And I'm ready to cut ties with a lot of you all that have been wasting my time and energy, because knowing you has not paid off in any way. But knowing me will always pay off. And I'm ready to really just cut ties with people who don't deserve to be close to me and know me, and force you to have to purchase a consultation to speak to me or to see me. Force you all to have to purchase images and purchase things and subscribe to things in order to even see my image. Because my beauty, it's clear to me that this world does not deserve it. And maybe by this world, maybe what I really mean is Chicago. But I'm really at that point where I'm really happy living in my worth, knowing my worth, and I'm okay with the fact that Chicago has nothing to offer me. Black Chicago. I'm okay with having to go into white societies to be paid properly. I'm okay with having to go into these liberal agenda corporate bullshit places to receive my worth and to receive the opportunities that are gonna put me in a lifestyle that reflects my power. Because a lot, black people, I thank you for all that you have done for me. But Chicago, I'm really looking forward to cutting ties with my experiences here. And a lot of you people online are not from Chicago. But, you know, a lot of you brothers are genuinely worthless. Go to your baby mama, apologize. She don't want you either because you're worthless. So don't even go to her. Don't bother her. She's dating someone way better than you now. Hopefully she's married. But you black men with kids and some mediocre bitch who will let you fuck her, when you do nothing for her. A lot of you black men, you will never get, you'll never deserve a beautiful black woman because you're worthless. You have nothing to offer, and your likes and your Facebook comments are even worthless. Sisters, get out of America. Find a community overseas somewhere where black women are flourishing, happy, and we don't have to deal with the interracial bullshit that squeezes us out of wealth, and we don't have to deal with the inferior black men that love us, because they love us because they have nothing to offer. Peace and love.